Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about what happens when your ex realizes the breakup was a mistake.
Whoa.
This is what everybody dreams of.
Mm-hmm.
Please see these things as a mistake, as this breakup is a mistake, and come back.
They come running, begging on their knees is what you want to hear.
Yeah. So it's very normal to think about this a lot and wonder, like, what really happens for them? What really goes on with them? And it might surprise you, especially if you're new to the channel, because a lot of people think their ex is going to come back with some big apology and saying something meaningful, but that is not usually what happens, right?
A lot of times they're going through their own process.
Yeah. So believe it or not, when that day comes, and it's, different for everybody, it's kind of like a process as they start to think about things more and more. When they really get to that place where they're like, it's hitting them hard, it's actually a shock for them, right? They can't believe that they went from feeling like they knew the answer, they knew what they wanted, to, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose this person. Because a lot of it is, I'm going to lose this person, right? Mm-hmm. And Margaret used to say that they would feel shame. The dumper feels shame for breaking up with you, or guilt for hurting you, because they know that they've hurt you. And so now it's not easy for them to, come hat in hand apologizing for doing that. And they have to sit with all these things like, how did I let this person go who was so good to me? And also feeling these feelings, like I hear guilt a lot.
Oh, yeah. And it can be hard to go back on your decision. Mm-hmm. A lot of times breakups are ugly. So it can be hard to say, oof, maybe I didn't make the right decision at that point. There is some level of shame that comes along with it. Mm-hmm. And not only, feeling shameful themselves, but feeling shameful for going back on their decision to you and people around them, friends and family. They've likely went through this big separation from you. Everybody knew about it. Now there's been some time and distance. It was a big decision that affected both of your lives.
And everybody knows.
Yeah.
And they know that everybody's angry at them. Your friends and family are angry at them. And all that. So
yeah, they likely aren't going to come in with this grandiose kind of declaration of why you two should be back together. Mm-hmm. It's probably going to be shyer, more sheepish, and I wouldn't blame them. Mm-hmm. Going back on a decision like this is huge, and it can be kind of embarrassing too.
Yeah.
So it does take a lot out of them. Mm-hmm. And shame and embarrassment, they're also afraid of your rejection. We talk to both dumpers and dumpies, believe it or not. Sometimes the roles get reversed in crazy ways.
Absolutely.
But I'll tell you, I hear from a lot of dumpers, well, I thought my ex hated me. I, broke up with them. I ended this relationship, and I thought they never would have wanted to talk to me again. I was afraid that, they wouldn't give me any time of day. So they have this anxiety about it. Honestly, we do want our exes to feel a little bit of anxiety if we are going to reject them or not, because they need to be in that place where they're humble enough to reach out. The ball at that point is in their court. And so we want to see, is this going to be a conversation that they initiate? How do they start? Are they, open to a conversation? So these are the things that we do want to see, but they likely aren't going to come in strong. Sometimes they do, and we do see that. But likely most of the time, it's more of an indirect direct to begin with.
Now, if you're screaming at the screen, good, I'm hoping they're hurt. I want them to feel what I'm feeling. You got to process that. Mm-hmm. If you don't process that, you're not going to be able to repair this in a healthy way, because you're going to feel this sudden burst of power all of a sudden, and it makes you feel like, good, now I don't want them back. But you'll come to regret that later, likely. So deal with it and process it in a healthy way. So when they come back, even if you feel like, okay, you have a little bit of power again, you're still looking at it like, this is somebody that I love, and I'm trying to repair a relationship and a connection here. Yeah. This isn't supposed to be a chess match, right?
Exactly. And a lot of times, even before they reach out, they might be doing smaller type gestures, like looking at your social media, liking your social media posts, maybe sending you some reels or, funny things to see, okay, how's this person going to respond?
The weird things that leave you confused.
Yeah, exactly. And they might even start talking to friends and family. first too. Well, how's so and so, and what are they up to? And oh, I haven't heard from them in a while. So they might be starting to gather more info. It's embarrassing to go back on a decision. It is
Sure.
humiliating to say, oof, I was wrong, and I might have overreacted in some cases. Maybe I was impulsive in some cases. So it can be, a hard thing to come back from.
Yep. But over time, they start to wonder, is the door still open? And, when they've been hit by that separation anxiety and it gets to that place of primal panic where you feel like you're dying, and they can get to that place, believe me, that's when they often look for these excuses to reach out. And that's when they start to, send direct approaches. I missed the cat, or have you seen my green socks, or have you seen the old keys to my car? I think I left them in your house. I heard that one time. So you hear a lot of bizarre, confusing things, and you're like, why are they reaching out about this?
Yeah. Yep. So that's typically how they start. It's kind of to test and see, okay, is my ex open to a conversation? And on your end, it might be confusing to know how to respond to this, because there might be some of you that are going to overshoot your shot, right? You're going to say, oh my gosh, I've missed you. I'm so happy that you've reached out to me about the cat, or about the laundry, or about the keys, or about the... Okay, so we don't want to do that. We don't want to overwhelm our ex when they're just testing the waters to see how things are going, because there might still be a little bit of ambivalence in them too. They're thinking, I might have made a mistake. They might not be 100% I made a mistake and I want this person back immediately right now.
Yeah.
It might be, let me see how this person's doing after our breakup and see kind of where this goes.
Yeah.
So we don't want to overshoot our shot here, but we also don't want to settle for something that it's not either. Some of you do get stuck in that pattern of over texting and how are you and all that mystery and all of what has happened
The breadcrumbs.
in the months of no contact, or the months since the breakup, is just kind of revealed, and there's not as much excitement there. Or the breadcrumbing situation where you're getting a meme from your ex once a week for a year after the breakup, and you're just kind of settling for that and being okay with that. And it's enough closeness for them to feel like, okay, my ex doesn't hate me. I could still entertain this and have this open, but still not what you would like out of that relationship, and doing yourself a disservice and not being authentic with what you want. So it can be difficult to find that fine line when your ex is in more of a place of speaking with you and being okay with being on talking terms. So this can be the tough middle ground.
So just understand that when you go no reaching out, no contact, as we teach it, the silence will slowly lead to confusion. That certainty that they know they could have you goes away, it dissipates, and then they start to wonder if they've lost you. When that anxiety builds up, it gets to the place where eventually they can get that primal panic and that fear of permanently losing you, and that's often when they look for excuses to reach out. So what do you do, or what do you not do? Let's talk about what you don't do, because there are certain things that you definitely don't want to do. You don't want to reach out to them or say that you're going to wait forever. Some of you guys do that.
I'll be here no matter what.
Yeah, don't say. I had somebody say that recently, and they're like, I know I shouldn't have. I made every mistake. You don't want to validate them and make them seem like they are the most amazing, incredible person in the world. And, they're kind of taking all of that to spread their wings and fly, right? Where they take it all in to get that boost of confidence and be like, okay, now I'm going to go find someone else. So you got to be careful about overdoing it. Here's another big mistake: alcohol and late night calls or texts.
Yeah. Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. As soon as your ex does reach out and kind of test the waters, you might be tempted to just pour your heart and soul. And if you add alcohol to the mix, that lowers your inhibitions. It could be a recipe for disaster. So please, you have no idea how many calls we do just to repair this. And it could be so hard.
Yeah.
It could be really, really challenging. So you have to be aware of all of this. And we talked about the hard balance that's hard to find. You don't want to overshoot your shot, but you also don't want to be okay with the breadcrumbs for an extended period of time and then it just kind of going nowhere.
And we have videos on breadcrumbing, by the way.
Yeah, we have lots. So to respond to this, we talk about this all of the time. You want to be polite. You want to be cordial. You want to be brief. You want to be open to hearing what they have to say. Of course, after a few messages, really the goal is to meet in person to see if that's something that they're open to. You have to be able to read the room here, people. You have to read the room, right? If they are very, it seems like they're very off-put or giving you one-word answers or not texting back for a long time, you don't want to jump to, hey, come over to my house right now, right? So
No.
we have to use a little bit of common sense here and read the room to not overwhelm our partner. But we also don't want to be having, 24/7 kind of conversations and spamming our ex's phone just because they reached out to us to see, how things are going.
The big one I see, probably the most common, is 4 hours on the phone with them, where they get all that information about what's going on, and now all their interest kind of dissipates after that. But look, all of this is a process where your ex gets to over time. And one way of looking at it is your ex really feels that regret and that the breakup was a mistake in that same moment where they think they might not get you back. It's a powerful thing. And we see it all the time. But you have to endure a lot of uncertainty to get to this moment. And that is why we say do the work. It will pay off. Either if your ex comes back, you get in front of them, you're a lot more have better understandings of relationships and dating, and you'll be a lot more confident, or you'll take all those skills and use them with other people. So it pays off.
It does pay off. And thinking a little bit more about what that reconnection looks like. Sometimes an ex can come in and pretend like nothing happened, because we talked about a lot in the beginning of this video, the shame, the embarrassment, the humiliation of going back to an ex and, I made this mistake. They might not want to talk much about the breakup or what happened. But we have to remember that a breakup is a severance of trust for you, the dumpee, the person who had been dumped and had your heart shattered. So I'm not going to come here and say, oh, they threw you away like trash and demonize your ex here. But I also don't want to ignore that a breakup happened.
Yeah.
So we have other videos on repair and the process of, getting back with an ex and rebuilding that solid foundation. But we don't want to let our ex kind of go off scot-free from this breakup either. It's not the first conversation we're going to have with them. We're not going to say, well, why the heck did you break up with me? And you broke my heart and I need apologies after apologies plus explanations and,
It's
5,000 words.
overwhelming.
No, yeah, we can't do all that, right? We have to be willing to hear what they have to say and kind of have a tempered approach. We want to be polite with them. We don't want to settle for less than what it is that we want, but we also don't want to overwhelm them.
Yeah, we don't want to look eager or desperate either. Okay. All right, so hopefully this one's been helpful to you. If you'd like to get our help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Zoom calls. Coach Victoria is also available for Zoom calls.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name on the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.